It boils down a lot to when you apply, you put the right information and the right documents are provided. If they're not, then questions need to be answered, and that can take time. The board sits, the BLA board sits every 2 weeks. So, so if you fall just after that, you'll have to wait 2 weeks for the sitting, and then after that, they'll answer you within the next week, normally in a few days. But all that can add on time, so if you hand in your application, that gets put out, your application gets put out in the Chronicle and the Gazette, for example, and then there's some issue, you need to sit on the board, and that happens to fall just after the board meeting. You'll have to wait two weeks for the board meeting, and then after that you'll get a response very much immediately afterwards. But still, then the time has elapsed already, maybe a month has gone by, or maybe even more. So it depends on how things are at the time, where it falls. And if you're away or whatever, you might need to postpone it. So it can drag on, it can take time.
So how might the Fair Trading Bill change or even improve this process?
So in principle, it will change it a lot. It will make it a lot smoother and a lot quicker. There'll be shorter time frames, so the OFT will check this application. There won't be any need for applying or placing an advert in the Gazette and the Chronicle. It will all be online in the OFT website, so that will be straight away. Once OFT review application, they can post that. There'll be a shorter objection period, so people can make the objection, and if that is all fine, then it will go through, and it should take, from what I've seen and looking at it, 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks from application, you should be able to get your license, and then after that it's the employment services and tax, which take a few days. So really we should be cutting down the time significantly. Obviously, that being said, that there's no objections and there's no real issues. Once you hand everything in, everything should flow quite smoothly.
Now, looking at this bill, there are a growing number of individuals that can work from home or anywhere for that matter. They only need a phone and a laptop. We've seen, obviously, with the current situation, that working from home has become the preferred option in many instances. Does this bill make the ROC more attractive to individuals like these?
Well, there's a very important new element that's going to be added, and that is there'll be a threshold under which you won't need to get a license at all. So once that threshold is set, and that can be changed, it's not in the legislation, the figure, so that can be changed from time to time. There'll be a figure that if you earn under that amount, you don't need a license at all. You just need like a certificate of exemption. Mm-hmm. So it will require or will remove the requirement of a premises, of the whole paperwork exercise will be taken away. So that will be like a startup scheme, I suppose, that you start up, you're just getting going, you just get a certificate of exemption that will allow you to get your bank account, your employment services and everything else sorted, but you don't need to go through the whole process. And then once that business is running and it's going over the threshold, then it will apply for full business license as normal. So that's going to help. What we're trying to help really is businesses to get up and running, and therefore under consumer protection as well.